Hi, thanks guys. Well, it's loud. Okay, so my story. Now, we're all taught to follow a particular routine in order to be successful. You're supposed to get a degree, and the next step after that is getting a job. And you get a job, you get any job, and then you work that job night and day until hopefully you get a promotion, a pay rise, or it kills you. And you probably died trying to get that pay rise. So you start to think that the job you do defines you, because most people you meet ask you, what's your name, what do you do, where do you work? So essentially the job that you do starts to become part and parcel of who you are. Now, we spend our entire adult lives working long hours hoping that the outcome is success, however you define success. So my story started in college. I studied a degree in marketing and advertising at Curtin University in Perth. And I only took that course because I didn't do particularly well and didn't get into what I wanted to do, which was finance, because I wanted to work in a bank. And that's another story. So I tried to get into the banking industry, but when I applied for the job, because I was just in college, they said, do you have any work experience? I said no. They said, come back when you have work experience. So I had to get work experience. I started working in a factory, and if any of you have ever worked in a factory and know someone who has, it's terrible, and I won't tell you much about the factory work. From working in the factory, that got my foot in the door. I worked at the Red Cross, knocking door to door, and everyone hates people at Red Cross. Everybody hated me, which was not so good. After Red Cross, went into a call center, worked for insurance, selling insurance on the phone. Everybody hates telemarketers. Finally got into the bank, worked the bank job. I hated it. I just worked all these jobs that I did not want to get something I thought I wanted, and when I had it, I was like, this is absolutely terrible. Now, I won't bore you with the details of the other jobs that came after that, but essentially what I figured out was, if somebody is going to pay me X amount to work for them, they must be making X plus, 4 or 5 times the amount. So it just started to dawn on me, like, it didn't actually make sense to work for somebody and not make essentially the most I could. And the only way I saw myself making more money was either a side job, which is another job, or going into business for myself. So I started doing small businesses on the side, everything from selling music, selling clothes, doing websites, and I knew I could do business, and add to the fact that everyone I knew always asked me, so when are you quitting your job? When are you going to retire? So it basically dawned on me that everybody saw me doing more than what I was doing, and I was selling myself short. And being pushed by family, of course, because my dad was in the banking industry, which is why I went into banking. And it was just like, you get a job, you work the job, you get promotions, pushed onto me over and over again. So skipping job to job, trying to climb the corporate ladder. And so now I find myself leasing a space at Vibewire and working with some awesome people and chasing clients and trying to get as many clients as I can on board so I can live, so I can have a good quality of life and a work-life balance, as opposed to just working because, like at the last job, I finally hit the 6 figures. Tax took 35% back in the 5 figures. It just didn't make sense for me. So, and here I am. So I guess my story is, the biggest thing holding me back, or holding most people back, is self-doubt. Because when you hear everybody telling you, this is where we see you, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and everybody sees that you're not actually living up to your potential, because you could go earn 300,000, 400,000, but if you're not happy and if people see you're doing something that's not you, then essentially you have to follow your dream, and it's tough, but in the end it all pays off because you feel good about yourself. You wake up, you want to go to work. Like, I asked Omar, like, can I work? I'll be here 20 hours a day. It's like, fine, do whatever you want. Just get some sleep sometimes. So yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, that's my little story. Thanks for listening.